Hey, what's going on, Chess Lover? This is Maurice Bishop again. I had a couple of messages from players saying, they're low rated player and they would never be, a grandmaster and things like that. But like I always tell y'all, with great dedication, with great studies, you can actually be the grandmaster. And today, I actually want to show y'all this game, which was actually between Hikaru Nakamura and 12-year-old boy Alexander Vernder Merwe. This was actually a Simul, how you say it, a Simul tournament where Hikaru Nakamura flew to South Africa at the Birchwood Hotel back in January 7, 2018, and he played over 100 games. Well, to be exact, it was actually 101 games in that Simul match, and Alexander Van der May was actually one of them. And to be honest with you, man, at the time, Hikaru was like probably like 2781, and Alexander Steve, I can never say his name right, but you'll see the whole full name in the description box. But his rating was actually a 1460. Yes, I said a 1460, and Alexander actually beat him. He beat Hikaru Nakamura. Um, as a rated player of 1460. A lot of people may say, he plays stronger than that or whatever, things like that. But you know, I'm just saying, y'all. He trains hard, and I actually looked him up. He did get coaches. He do have a coach. And At the time, they didn't really play in many FID or FIDE tournaments. He didn't play too much in it. Um, but For this one, he played in this one and he wound up beating him. So without further ado, let's actually get started with this game. Hikaru Nakamura played as white, and Alexander played as black. All right, so let's begin. So knight f3, um, knight f6, b3. This is like the Nimzo-Larsen variation type opening. As you can see, they both in in their bishop. Bishop b2, bishop g7, e4, d6, d3, and c5. All right, so this is kind of normal moves. G3 is played. Knight c6, bishop g2. Hikaru Nakamura. You know, if y'all look at a lot of his bullet games or whatever, you will see a lot of his bullet games. He likes to fianchetto both of his bishops, man. I've seen it, man. I watch a lot of his bullet games. He loves to he loves these, man. He loves doing this two fianchetto bishops, which is something that it's not really surprising, but it's what he does. But anyway, a6, Alexander plays a6. Hikaru Nakamura castles, Alexander castles, and then Hikaru, goes knight b to d2, just developing his pieces, and also trying to get to knight c4 and then maybe knight e3 just to get a d5 square. Another thing, y'all, when y'all look at how your opponent move, just look at the squares that he can move at, So like when he comes here, just think of what he's really trying to go. You know what I mean? Don't think that they're just moving and developing pieces just to develop. There's always a reason for why the piece is developing, or the way which way he's on developing. Queen c7 is played. Rook e1, e5. Um, I know this move very well with this on E5. It almost kind of remind me of like, if you was playing a Dutch. But obviously this wouldn't be a Dutch move, because usually with the Dutch is always like I call it the Stonewall Dutch type thing. But usually the F5 pawn will have to be here and this knight not in front of it, you know what I mean? But usually anytime I see this, I already know that the knight is gonna come to D4 and everything, things like that. All right. So e5 is played, knight c4 is played, which, like I said, he's already trying to go to knight e3 and maybe occupy that d5 square, or maybe in the future, maybe the f5 square, depending on how he's trying to handle it. So Alexander goes d5 and then knight e3, which Nakamura wasn't worried about it because that's the square he wanted to go to anyway. Rook b8, which is a good move. Try and get the b file in. And then knight f to d2. The reason for this move, um, I'm pretty sure that because obviously this knight on h4 is not really doing too much. Even though that kind of, if you think about it, man, that kind of would have been interesting. Knight h4, then maybe f4 or whatever, or maybe doing h3 first and then going f4. That's just well, maybe not f4. Actually, that would I wouldn't like that move. F4 would be bad because black can take, and now his dark square bishop is kind of strong. So maybe not so much on knight h4. But I think knight f3 to d2 is probably a better move. All right, so knight a5. Knight a5 is played. H3, bishop d7, c4. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. C4. I'm not. Yo, I am. I'm not a fan of pushing C4 because the thing is, when I look at stuff, I look at weaknesses. So anytime I do a move, I look at what weaknesses do I have, and having a C4 pawn here, this caused a big weaknesses in D4, which is crazy and everything. So yeah, maybe not C4. Um, and I'm pretty sure Nakamura probably saw it, or maybe I'm not sure though because I mean I think anything can happen if you're playing over 100 people and everything. So it's a lot of things that can happen. So I've never played over 100 people at the same time before, so I could just imagine, playing that amount of people. You probably got a whole bunch of positions in your head or whatever, things like that. Um, but yeah, C4. I just didn't like this dark square weakness there. You know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I say this to all of y'all. Anytime y'all make pawn moves or whatever, make sure that y'all are aware of the weaknesses that y'all causing, in a position. But in the future, you will see that this weakness is crazy. So this was a great move, knight c6. He does go back to knight c6. As you can see, he's about to occupy that weakness. So that's the thing. So knight d5 is played. Knight catches d5, c catches d5, and then knight d4. And that knight on d4 is very powerful because obviously in this position you don't want to go bishop captures d4 because the c captures d4. And as you see, black will control the c file. Even if he goes queen c1 or whatever, it wouldn't really matter because we can just go rook f c8, still control um, that C file, which is not a problem. Or if it was the other way around, rook AC1, then you still have queen A5. So now this pawn A2 is undefended, and then you're looking at threats like bishop H6 coming in, and then also having rook F to C8 coming in, also to fight for the C file and everything. And like I say, even with Queen A2, it really depends on what the rook want to do. He can go, like I said, he could go Rook C2 to defend that, but again, you're still getting hit with this Bishop A6, and then after Bishop A6, you still got Rook FC8, so it wouldn't look too good for White in this position. All right, um, where I'm at, y'all. Yeah. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much on what that is. So Nakamura actually goes on Rook C1, which is where he goes. Queen B6 is played. Then Nakamura took Bishop on D4, which I'm not a fan of that either. I really don't like, even though this bishop is kind of bad or whatever, things like that, but I don't think I would want to take it right away only because black will gain that c file and I'd rather lock it up. Yes, you will be faced with bishop a6, but you can move your rook from c to b1, and then, and the reason why for the portion of this move is just in case if he tries to open up the C file because that's what black will want to do. Black will want to open up the C file, but in this case, he wouldn't be able to do it because, like for instance, if he goes C4, B captures C4, and the c5 is now locked, but the pawn can't take back because the rook is pinning this pawn. So it wouldn't work out right in black's favor if this happened. So um yeah, so if y'all go back or whatever, it just yeah. I think I think that probably would have been better, and it probably look an odd move or whatever. But like I said, I like to look at other shots or whatever, and I'm pretty sure other people have other analysis with this game and everything. But I believe after the bishop c3 and rook b1, it probably would have been a lot more better if you ask me. But bishop catches d4 is played, c catches d4, and then b4 is played, which preventing this a5 from coming in to this. But also with knight b3 coming in, he still have this knight a5. God damn! Anyway, y'all, for being really interrupted with this b4. The whole point of b4 is to bring this knight to b3 and then get this knight a5 posted up and everything. Maybe it'll be some chances. But rook fc8 is played, knight b3, which that's what Nakamura is trying to go for, and then rook captures c1, knight captures c1. And the reason for knight captures c1, y'all, just to be clear on this, is if queen captures c1, then he's still going to get hit with rook c8 with a tempo. So that was the whole point of queen captures c1. But knight captures c1, bishop a6 comes in, knight b3, rook c8, queen f3, rook c2, which is a very nice move. Also hitting this undefended pawn, and the bishop is pretty nice and everything. So Nakamura is actually really running into some problems, man, which is crazy. But Nakamura did a move that I didn't like. He goes queen f6. I just thought the most simple move. And like I said, y'all know that if you keep your opponent's rook on a second or seventh rank or whatever, it becomes dangerous. So you want to immediately go rook e2 immediately. And I think it would have been a lot better for Nakamura. You want to get this immediately out the way and everything, and you should be good. So that's just me. So that's a principle that y'all need to remember, y'all. Anytime your opponent goes to the second rank or seventh rank or whatever, immediately fix that ASAP. All right, so Queen f6 was played, then Queen c7 is played, and this is why I say, instead of this Queen f6, this rook e2 had to come in immediately to get this rook out the way. But now it's going to give him problems now. So f4 is played, which is also a weakening of this square. And this is again the point that I'm making, y'all. Pawn moves, you got to be careful of certain pawn moves or whatever, because it will weaken your square. You know what I mean? So this already is weakened, as you can see. So you'll see how it affect Nakamura. Um, so f4, queen c3 again. He's still hitting the a2 pawn, but he also hitting this queen d3 or whatever. But also doubling up on this rank, which is very, 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 very dangerous. So rook f1, and again, still inaccurate. The only move that probably could have saved him was actually maybe rook d1. Maybe that probably was the only move that can actually save him. And either way, it's still causing white problems and everything, but that probably was the only thing that could probably save him. But it didn't work out. So after rook f1, queen b2, as you can see, he's already hitting rook capture g2, threatening some mating attacks. Bishop f3 is played, then bishop catches h3 is played, hitting the rook on f1. So f catches e5 is played, trying to do something. But remember, I told you about this weaknesses over here on that e3, so pay attention to that one. But Alexander found this move, rook g2 check. Obviously, he can't take because this would be checkmate. So you can't do that move. So, which is why after rook g2, the king goes to h1, and then rook h2 with a check, king g1, and then bishop e3 check, and then of course Nakamura resigns after this. And why did he resign? Because after Rook F2, this is going to automatically be checkmate. So that was a really decent game from the 12-year-old boy Alexander. Um, very great game. And I think out of that whole tournament, out of that whole 101 players that Nakamura played, I believe he lost 2 games. He lost 2 games from the kids, and he drew like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was like 4 or 5 draws that he drew with their opponent. So it was pretty crazy and amazing. In the description box, you will see other information about the game and about him and everything. So I'll definitely put that in the description box or whatever. So if y'all like this video, please like, please share, please comment. Let me know what you think, and also don't forget to subscribe, y'all. And if y'all one of those people that think that y'all low rated players or whatever, y'all can be higher masters too if you really dedicate yourself and really um, you study and be dedicated. All right. So without further ado, man, peace out, y'all. And again, don't forget to subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace.